Marlene Leeper.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you this evening. My name is Marlene Leeper, and I do reside in Oro Valley. I recently had the pleasure of meeting many of my fellow residents as they came forth to sign the tooth petition, and come forth they did. They came forth pen in hand in anger and frustration over the Elcon deal. They came forth and they stood in line and waited to join fellow citizens in righting this very, very wrong deal. It was so easy to get these signatures. It was not going door to door and pleading with people, please sign, hear our side. No, we set up our table and they flocked to us. Pen in hand, where do I sign? The people, the will of the people has been very, very clearly expressed. You know how many signatures we got both times. Very, very good turnout, and we can do it again. While we may have made some mistakes, we have learned from our mistakes, and we will be much better prepared the next time. I implore you to hear the voices of the Oro Valley citizens, understand the will of the people that live in Oro Valley, and cease the pursuit of this acquisition. I would like to tell you that those who came forth in this effort will come forth again, pens in hand, and do whatever is necessary to secure a truly representative government. Thank you, and God bless America.
Thank you. Donald Bristow.
Donald Bristow, Oro Valley resident. Mayor and council members, what did the Oro Valley citizens learn about their town council and town staff during the December 3rd and December 17th discussion on the purchase of the El Conquistador Country Club? 1, some of you showed disrespect for the voices of the residents and you didn't listen. 2, the town staff pulled numbers out of the air regarding what it would cost to build a community center at Narana Park. 3 different costs in 2 weeks, and they were based on apple and oranges comparisons. 3, some of you defended as statistically valid a survey of the residents regarding what they wanted in the community center and other elements in the Narana Park, while dismissing key findings like least desirable way to finance was a sales tax, no desire for golf courses or swimming pools, very low desire for tennis courts. 4, staff personnel had evaluated the golf courses and clubhouses, failed to comprehensively investigate by skipping potential high-cost repairs such as mold, water damage, and air conditioning units. They actually over-reported available usage square footage by 10,000 square feet. Some of you made some non-factual statements. The council had to approve this purchase on December 17th meeting, not according to the seller. The golf course grounds would degrade if not purchased by the town, resulting in financial harm to the residents and homes along the fairway. HSL has a 5-year automatic renewable contract with Tune Management to run the course. Therefore, no harm will occur. Gas stations and other commercial businesses, apartments, and houses would be developed on the fairways. The fairways are too narrow for any of these to be built. And any adverse development would require the mayor and council to approve conditional use permits. Are some of you implying that you would consciously approve conditional use permits? Are some of you applying developments that would be detrimental to the residents living along the courses? True Management would manage the facilities for Oro Valley. Oro Valley has no contract with Trune. Trune's contract is with HSL. Finally, this deal, we heard that this deal can't be passed up. It's so great. What would you have stated in this great deal? It would have been more appropriate to state that this great deal is a great deal for HSL and Trune Management, not the residents of Oro Valley. Who do you represent? You need to call a special session of the council and instruct Mr. Caton to halt or modify his negotiations with HSL, thus removing Oro Valley as a purchaser of any of the El Quisador assets. The vocal majority have spoken. The residents don't support your actions. The consequences of proceeding is at your risk. Thank you.
Thank you. Lou Gard.
Mr. Mayor, council members, my name is Lou Gard, and I've been a resident of Oro Valley for 19 years. And I'm here to discuss the purchase of the Elkhorn Country Club. To paraphrase an old saying, if it looks like a skunk, acts like a skunk, smells like a skunk, it's probably a skunk. And this proposed deal of the Elkhorn Conquistador Country Club smells to high heaven. From the campaign contributions of Mr. Lopez, to the lack of transparency, to the speed that this deal needed to be done, to the town clerk not informing Ms. Lamanna that an official petition serial number needed to be on each petition sheet. This thing stinks. This is a classic example of a boondoggle. A boondoggle is defined as an expensive and wasteful project usually paid for with public money. Each of you voted for this boondoggle and have lost the confidence and trust of many of the residents of Oro Valley. I urge one, or even better, or even better yet, all four of you to rescind your vote and regain that confidence and trust. Thank you.
Thank you. Steve Didio.
Mr. Mayor and Council, Steve Didio, Oro Valley resident. I echo a lot of the comments previously made by the earlier speakers. I too am very disappointed that the town so quickly decided to disallow the petition that contained over 2,000 more signatures than were required to make it a successful petition. In doing this, I believe the town has chosen to ignore the voices of a significant portion of its citizenry. I felt that this was a disrespectful act, and I also felt that it was timed to coincide with today's council meeting. And Councilman Hornat's comments that the town has no ability to do anything about it, I'm not buying that. In just over 4 hours after learning of a possible problem with the original petitions, we were able to get over 1,000 signatures. To me, there's a clear message there that the people really wanted to vote on this. And I would urge the council to do whatever you can to make sure that happens. And if you don't, there probably will be some repercussions from the citizens. The last thing I would like to say is there is a growing concern, and I'm feeling it, and I've talked to a lot of people in the town, that the way business is being conducted in this chamber is not the way it should be always. So I would just advise you that as an astute member of this community and talking to other astute members of this community, there is a feeling out there that this deal is symbolic of government that isn't transparent. And with that, I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Roger Benasuti.
Mr. Mayor, councilmen, my name is Roger Benasuti. I'm a fairly new resident here in Oro Valley within the last year, and I did vote for you, Mr. Mayor, and the council members, and I object to the purchase of the Elkhorn properties. If I'd have known beforehand, before I bought a home in Oro Valley and how the council works, I certainly would have had second thoughts about living in Oro Valley. In order to keep this short, and I have listed 8 points which I've asked the clerk to pass out to the council people, and if you'd review those, and I am basically asking that implementation of this date to be delayed and put to vote to Oro Valley residents. Thank you very much. God bless America.
Thank you. Chuck Walton.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Chuck Walton. I live on Bighorn Mountain Drive in Sun City, Oro Valley. I've been a resident of Oro Valley since 1992. 18 years in Sun City, 5 years in Splendido. My concern is the same as many of my predecessors this evening. It concerns the rejection by the town clerk and town attorney of the petition form signed by over 3,100 residents of Oro Valley, ordering a referendum vote by the qualified electors to approve or reject the action of the town council at its meeting on December 17th. The grounds for rejection is the use of the number R14-66, which is the ID number in the town council's records of the resolution in question, instead of using an Oro Valley reference number newly created. The clear intent of the petitions is readily apparent. There are apparently no issues with the referendum language, which was reviewed by 2 attorneys. If the town insists on going ahead without further input and discussion with town residents, it can expect legal action. And I might mention that money for a lawsuit has already been pledged. I respectfully suggest and urge the members of the town council to go with the flow and adopt a measure to reconsider the council's action on December 17th. I would further urge the town council, before taking a second vote on the acquisition of the El Conquistador assets, to disclose everything about costs, projections, the text of the contract with Troon, etc., in a series of public meetings presided by neutral moderators. I would strongly recommend the town council further prepare and present a Plan B to follow if the purchase is approved and the rosy projections do not materialize, as many predict. As a former president of Sun City's Board of Directors, I know what happened to golf participation by our members and the steps that were required to have non-golfers support the Sun City Golf Course through a portion of their homeowner dues. I believe it is unrealistic for the town council to expect that the unmistakable nationwide trend of less participation in golf will ever be reversed here in Oro Valley. Thank you.